The last time we spoke to Wendell Potter, Lewis, former VP of Corporate Communications at CIGNA, I was very pessimistic about the possibility of anything at all single-payer. And now we've been hearing about the possibility of Vermont starting their own single-payer healthcare system. And Wendell's here to talk to us about it. Great to see you, Wendell.
David, good to talk to you.
So my surprise when I first heard about this was that with something that is typically associated with conservative politics, that is the so-called power of the states, we're seeing possibly the most progressive intrastate single-payer healthcare proposal that I recall. What was your thought when you first heard about this proposal?
Well, I was pretty excited because it looks like certain things could actually happen in Vermont. The governor is in favor of single payer. The legislature, both chambers are controlled by Democrats, and there's a majority support for it there. And there's a grassroots movement in the state that really is supporting single payer. I was up there a couple of months ago and spoke actually in the legislative chamber there, or in the one of the hearing rooms, and with a lot of the advocates. And there's a lot of optimism up there.
There are two potential legal hurdles that I've been reading about. The biggest one seems to be the ERISA restrictions and this kind of prohibition of states from enacting legislation related to employee benefit plans. And what I'm reading is they will be able to get around that because this potential plan would actually sever the tie between employment and health insurance so that it wouldn't violate those laws. What's your reading of that?
Well, I think that's right, and certainly ERISA is a big stumbling block or a big hurdle that has to be crossed or dealt with, and I think that the administration and the lawmakers there are trying to work that out. And ironically, maybe not ironically, but just as a matter of fact, some of the most vocal opposition to single payer has come from the employer community, the big employer community in Vermont, led primarily by IBM, which is supposedly the largest private employer in Vermont. But ERISA is a federal law, and to be able to implement this statewide, it has to abide by federal law, of course, as well. So it is something they have to deal with, and I think that they have some creative solutions there.
Are we to expect a full-fledged attack from insurers? I mean, pulling out all the stops in terms of front groups, convincing people single payer would actually be bad for the people, lawsuits potentially. My sense is we're going to see everything under the sun to prevent this from happening.
We will. We will see a lot that's going on all over the state. What will happen is that if the bill passes, and I think there's a good chance it will, we can expect that the insurance companies will be spending a lot of money to try to elect more Republicans to the legislature next year. This is a multi-year project, or it will be implemented in stages, and probably can't be fully implemented at least until 2017, because that's when the current federal healthcare reform law really gives the states permission to go beyond in a significant way.
And there is the possibility, I think, that they're trying to pass a bill that could move the opt-out up to 2014, but as it stands now, it is 2017. That's
right, and it possibly could be moved up. I wouldn't give the chances of that move up. I wouldn't say that it will likely happen. There's a possibility, but more than likely, Congress won't approve that.
Is this going to be something that insurers and possibly pharmaceutical companies and other corporations will oppose specifically because of the potential lost profits in Vermont, or more likely because of the door that it's opening up in terms of precedent to other states where more than 625,000 people actually live?
It's the latter. The big for-profit insurance companies don't have a big presence there. The largest insurer is a Blue Cross plan that operates as a nonprofit. CIGNA is one of the large for-profit companies, the company I used to work for, that has a presence there. But most of the membership there is not in for-profit insurance companies. And of course, as you noted, it's not a very big state. But they are interested because they don't want a single state to fall. They know that if Vermont does this, and it works well, and I think it would, that other states would take notice too, and undoubtedly try to do the same thing. So that's their worry, that this could really take hold there as well as be emulated elsewhere in the country.
You know, I have to ask myself when I hear about this and hear about the opposition that we're no doubt going to see, if insurers and Republicans and all of the players that we hear so much from that say regularly single payer will not work and it will be bad really believe that, wouldn't it be in their interest to let it happen in Vermont, since it is a low population state, and prove once and for all that it won't work, and then they don't have to worry about it anymore? In other words, some part of them must assume this could actually work, right?
Oh, it's not just some part. I mean, they know it could work, and they know it could work well, and that's why they're so afraid of this. You can't believe their rhetoric. They will certainly continue to say anything that they can negative about single payer, as they have for many years. And we can expect that the campaign that we will see waged against it in Vermont will come largely from the insurance industry, although not directly. They will be using their third-party allies, the employer groups and front groups and others to wage war against the idea there. But they know that it could work, and that's what really makes them so afraid.
All right, Wendell Potter, former VP of Corporate Communications at CIGNA. The book is Deadly Spin. Still, actually, it may be, yeah, we have it right here over my shoulder. We just keep it here just in case. At any time, we might need it, you know?
Terrific. Refer to it many times.
Okay, thanks, Wendell. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, David.